So the final question is, how do you see Supervisor Chris Daly's record on affordable housing, SROs, gentrification, and tenants' rights? What did Chris do well? What did Chris do wrong?
Good question! Yeah!
They were all picked by politicians. They should be good questions. The real questions aren't asked.
I actually think that we should ask you all what you think of Chris Daly's record, not us. But here's what I'll say. The one thing that I respect and admire about Chris's work in this district is his work around tenant protection and affordable housing. He has been an advocate. He has increased the number of low-income housing and inclusionary housing that market-rate developers have built in South of Market and South Beach. I know this because many of the families, many seniors that I work with now live in those units in South Beach. I think that Chris has been an advocate for our SROs and for our residents. Here's where I think Chris hasn't done as good of a job. I don't think that Chris has prioritized public safety as much. I don't think that he's worked on making our streets cleaner and safer. That's an issue that I really want to be focused on and make sure that we're increasing the quality of life for all of our residents that we're housing. Second, I think that we could do a lot more work on economic development. So supporting small businesses that hire locally and creating jobs. Job creation is the #1 issue in this district, and that's something that I think the next supervisor has to focus on.
Good answer!
The difference between before Chris Daly and after Chris Daly is the difference black and white. If they had allowed you into City Hall during the Barbara Kaufman Board of Supervisors, I would be surprised. Such a change once Chris came into City Hall. Gentrification, tenants' rights, there has not been a stronger advocate. And my hat's off to him. Land use, quality of life, with all due respect, not really Chris's strong points. And that's what I would bring to City Hall if you vote for me for supervisor. Thanks.
What's your name again?
That's Jim Miko for District 6. Thank you.
I think Chris has done many good things. I think Chris has strengthened tenants' rights. I think Chris has looked at SRO reform and has been a major driver behind that. I think Chris has focused very, very deliberately on the Tenderloin and particularly low-income people. I have lots of issues with Chris Daly, but there's also things I respect him for. Now there's transgender rights. He's been our one advocate on the Board of Supervisors for many, many years for transgender rights, and I would give Chris that. What I don't agree with him on is he hasn't spent any time on the rest of the district. People south of Market and in Mission Bay and some of those areas have never seen him, much less met him. I think he needs to have spent more time in all areas of the district, not just one or two portions that he felt more comfortable in. Public safety, quality of life, I think he ignored. And if I'm elected, or when I'm elected supervisor, I plan on being in every single area of the district, not just one. Thank you.
Deborah Walker, again. Chris Daly has changed the dialogue in City Hall. Chris has been our voice on the issues that people weren't paying attention to. And for many decades, we either had no voice or had a single voice, and folks like Assemblyman Tom Amianda when he was supervisor. We have enacted more nationally renowned models protecting tenants and making sure that our most affordable housing is habitable because of Chris Daly and his ability to organize us to be at City Hall. I think that one of the things that we lost our opportunity, or at least for a while, and I think that we'll get it back, is to actually get the small business community on our side, the people where we work in a lot of cases, because they are a real organic engine of economic development. They hire locally. We need to actually partner with them on a lot of issues, and I think it would help move this agenda forward. Thank you.
I like your spirit, I have to say. You're very encouraging. I'm going to echo the support of Chris Daly and his housing and policies for low-income housing, but I'm going to also agree with Teresa in that he missed a lot of the districts, such as South of Market, in the amount of condos and development that have gone up with kind of without check over the past 10 years that has completely changed the whole dynamic of Soma. So that's the one place I think he failed.
Yeah, me too. Good answer. Yay.
Hi, James Keys again, and yes, I have been endorsed by Supervisor Chris Daly. What he did get right is that he put people first. He allowed a person, an African-American gay man, to come into his office who lived in an SRO and work with the community. He wanted to make sure that somebody was there in the office who knew what his constituents needed and was able to help them to get that by giving them a voice. That's the one thing that I think that he did right, and that's the one thing that